Hey everyone, it's Agnach here. Welcome to another video. In today's video I'm bringing you my legend hits with this OP spam. I have been using it in all three of my accounts, and for the first time I was able to get my perfect day in legends with 8 triples on Yankee, and I also have 6 triples on Sir. This army is definitely strong in the 5000 to 5500 trophy range where people use a lot of single infernos. However, it can still work on multi infernos. I'll show you the 8 triples from my legends day, and as a bonus I'll include how to triple these 2 annoying but very common legend league bases with this spam. So stay till the end to check that out. Also, I have started streaming, so if you want to watch me live on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that you get alerted whenever I go live. So let's go to the attacks. So this is the first attack against Bav of Royal Con Pinto. So I decided to zap and quake the scatters, therefore getting quite a fair bit of value there. You get rid of both scatters, then witches are free for all, and also this base has 3 single infernos. I decided to put witches and giants all the way from 3 till 6 o'clock with the log launcher in between going all the way in. Now with this army you can either use the log launcher or the wall wrecker. It really depends on the base. Most of the time on bases like this, like teaser bases, I decide to use the wall wrecker so that the wall wrecker can get a little further in. However, on bases like this one that has too many compartments and the wall wrecker would be getting stuck and not moving forward quite quickly, I decide to use the log launcher just to open up the path so that my troops can go all the way to the tank hole and get rid of it. Then now we just have the queen just clearing some more defenses, some of the buildings. There's only that single inferno left, but we still have 1 freeze and we still have the queen ability. So now it's just gonna be a nice cleanup. The ice golem dies, he freezes a single inferno, queen goes through the wall, gets rid of the single, and we had the first triple there. Second triple was against Super, and on this occasion I decided to zap and quake 2 expos, a scatter, and an inferno, so that's quite a fair bit of value. And as you can see here, the other 2 infernos are multi, so I'm gonna be coming in with a log launcher straight into one of the multis. And the giants with a super wall breaker opening that wall end up going and following what the log launcher is opening up. It is also damaging that scatter that was left standing. And then for the other multi inferno I decided to send my royal champion and decide to invest a couple of freezes over there just to make sure that she can get rid of that area. Everything now is kind of dying, but we still have quite a few freezes, and with this attack one of the things you want to do is just keep freezing that tank hole until your troops get rid of it. If you don't freeze the tank hole, those beams are gonna burn through your witches really quick, and if you have no more witches then you have no army. Also the other thing is you want to keep your heroes alive for as long as you can, as they can tank or get rid of the tank hole very quickly. Now this attack strategy is you can get 1 stars very easily. However, you do create good pathing and you do zap the good value, then triples are always in the books. On this occasion we ended up zapping and quaking a scatter and an inferno in the center of the base, and then I'm just coming in from 9 to 6 going all the way in. Royal champion to get rid of the eagle, and the log launcher just opening the path towards the tank hole. Now the king and the royal champion ended up going to the right and the queen is going to the left. We still have the ice golem and quite a few freezes to freeze that tank hole. Hopefully something goes in there, and as you can see the royal champion is going around the base. I use her ability. Now I use the final freeze on the tank hole and the single inferno so that the royal champion can get rid of the tank hole, and it goes down, and then the rest is nice and easy. Obviously if the tank hole doesn't go down, this would have been a 1 star, so you need to be very careful with where you put your freezes. As a guide, if the tank hole is all the way to the end and the troops aren't tracking towards it, you want to spend most of your freezes on the tank hole. Over here again I get rid of the scatter, an expo, and an inferno as well, so pretty good value. and then the same thing, a line from 3 to 6 with a log launcher in between going all the way through. Now again, I used the log launcher instead of the wall wrecker on this one because there were so many compartments, so the log launcher can just open up the entire thing and just create a pathing towards the town hall. Now I've also been finding that a lot of people are just using super minions in the CC. Obviously when Town Hall 14 comes out, this is going to be a little bit different, and also when the update comes, even for Town Hall 13 it will be different since the super minions are going to be nerfed. So I don't think they're going to be using super minions as much on the CC as they are at the moment, but because they are using the super minions, even though the witches can hit air, it takes them a long time, and the super minions seem to always either target the king or target the log launcher, so I prefer just bringing one poison there just to slow it down. On this occasion as well, we end up sapping the scatter and a few more defenses around it, and one of them I think is the archer tower and the cannon, and then we just start from 12 to 3. Now the other thing with this strategy, if you're coming with a wall wrecker or a long launcher, to be able to get the most out of your siege machine, you need to come in opposite from the town hall. So as I said, it's risky, but this is the only way that you can get the triples with this strategy. If you go directly to the town hall, then you don't have anything to open up the walls. Yeah, the super giants can open the walls, but as you can see here, even though that they're tanky, they do get killed pretty quickly. So you do need that log launcher or wall wrecker to open up the path, just to make sure that your troops go through the base instead of just going into the tank hole and then not being able to get the rest of the base. Over here again, use the freezes just to make sure that my troops don't get killed, and also bring the tank hole down. All those witches over there, if I hadn't frozen that tank hole, they would be dead, and this would not have been a triple. But we ended up getting another triple against Prince Pritam. Now the next triple is on this base, and look at all the value that we can get with zaps. So we can get 2 expos, we can get the scatter, and also sometimes when I can, I will use the earthquakes on the town hall just to damage it a little bit, and that way some of the logs from the log launcher as they hit the town hall will bring it down even further, and then it's not gonna be a lot of attack that I need for the town hall to go down. A lot of people, what they prefer to do is they just hold on to the royal champion, and if there's not many defenses around the tank hole, then they just send the royal champion for the tank hole just to finish it off. On this occasion there were quite a few defenses there, and I knew that my troops didn't have anywhere else to go but to the tank hole, so I decided to use my royal champion on the flanks just to make sure that I can trim some of the defenses, protecting the witches that are on the outside, so that they can continue clearing more buildings. On this occasion there were a lot of bombs and giant bombs that killed most of my witches on the outside, but everything else is gone. So we got another triple here against Baraniel of Andromeda. Then we've got this very common base as well, and as I said, the zaps and quakes, you either do it to take away really important defenses, or you also use it to create pathing for your troops. Whenever you're doing spam, that's the main thing, good pathing. A lot of people just think is that you just put everything there and just wait and see what happens. If you don't have the pathing towards the tank hole, that's when the one stars happen. So I'm still practicing to be able to be better with my pathing, but that's one of the reasons why I use the royal champion early. She helps me create that pathing for my troops to go on the line that I want them to go. Otherwise they would just start splitting, going on the outside of the base, and they would never reach the tank hole. Then whenever I do get a 1-star, that's what happens. Everything just splits off and doesn't follow the path that I wanted them to go. So if that's the case, you can just use the royal champion just to create the pathing if you haven't created that with your lightning spells. Over here, instead of getting rid of the scatters, I decided to get rid of the expos and the single inferno, again to create that pathing that I really needed. So as you can see, I'm starting from 6 till 3. I'm using the log launcher to go into that single inferno. Probably I could have put the log launcher a little bit more to the right so that the logs were hitting the single inferno and bringing it down. Also with this attack, you want to use the vulnerability nice and early, just protecting everything. And if you're really good at monitoring everything, which I myself, I'm not when I have so many troops already on the ground. But if you can monitor, just monitor the log launcher. If it starts getting hit by under defense, that's when you want to use the warden ability. Or the warden starts walking away, you want to use the warden ability just to make sure that you're protecting the log launcher with that aura. Or if you have a lot of troops under the aura and they're all getting hit by a splash damage, you want to use it then there as well. You don't have to wait until they reach the town hall to use the warden ability. So now to two of the most common bases that I've seen in Legends League. So how to triple. Usually I zap and quake the scatter and the expo next to the town hall, and I damage the other scatter, the expo and the town hall with the quakes. I use a super wall breaker at 6 and one at 3, and then I just send my troops in a line between. If you have a third super wall breaker, you can also use it there at 4:30 with the log launcher going in, and everything goes inside. Use the royal champion at 6 for the eagle and also the king. Usually I have one headhunter, so I will use that headhunter on the defending king just to support my royal champion, and then everything should be moving towards the town hall. If everything starts splitting off towards the left, then you need to be really good with your freezes. Another thing that sometimes I've been doing, instead of sending the royal champion at 6 o'clock, I just keep her for a little bit, making sure that my super giants and witches do get rid of that 6 o'clock area, and then I'll send the royal champion from 2 o'clock to go and snap the town hall down. But as you can see on this occasion, I got the triple doing it this way, and it's another way of doing it, the royal champion pushing everyone towards it. Now this is the second most common base that I've seen in Legends League. So what you want to do is you want to do the lightning spells for one of the scatter shots, the wizard tower and the bomb tower. Then you put the giants and the witches on the opposite side, going into the compartment that is next to where the second scatter is. Using the warden ability nice and early, the log launcher from opposite side of the town hall, moving towards the town hall. Then you have all your freezes, you're going to be using them on the town hall and the expos. And then you can either have the royal champion going towards the eagle, or on this occasion I had the queen walking up there, so I decided to send the royal champion towards this town hall and let my queen get rid of the eagle and the single inferno up there, and just allowing my troops to move around the base. The royal champion gets rid of the third single inferno, and then is just clean up around the edges with all those witches. So yeah, pretty much I usually have a look at where my heroes are pathing. If my queen had gone towards the town hall, then I would have put the royal champion towards the eagle. If the queen goes to the left, then I put the royal champion towards the town hall, using those freezes for that town hall. Well, those were my triples. As you can see, it's a very easy to use army and gives great results. Now we will have to wait and see if it still works at Town Hall 14 when the update comes, and everyone is saying that spam is gonna get nerfed on that update. So we'll just have to wait and see. I think it's happening very soon, so stay tuned for that. If you liked the video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time with more Clash. See ya.